Hello, everyone, and welcome to my first thoughts on Crimson Desert, the single player game by Prolibus, the makers of Black Desert Online, which is their MMO that has been running for several years now. Um, Crimson Desert is a weird game for me. It was on my radar for a long time, but I was always highly skeptical about it. It seemed like it was doing a lot of things, which it clearly is now that I've played it. And I just didn't. I was one of those people that didn't believe that the game could live up to the promises that it was making. But I have a lot of thoughts, positive and negative, and we will cover them here. And I kind of just want to start the video by talking a little bit about the story, which is one of the most controversial points about the game, I believe, from what I've seen. But the beginning of this game is confusing as hell. The game just kind of just drops you into the middle of a fight. You die, and then you come back to life, but it doesn't explain to you why or how that happens. So yeah, the first few hours of the game, I was trying to figure that out for myself, and I still am up until this point. I know that the journal gives you a little bit more of a backstory, but the game itself, while you're playing it, doesn't do a good job of letting you know what you're doing and why you're doing it. The quests at the beginning are super mundane. There's a bunch of these like little fetch quests, simple tasks that you're asked to do, and kind of makes sense. Prolibus has been making an MMO for a long time. MMOs are notorious for having this kind of quest design where you don't really like the quests themselves. You're not really doing something that seems all that important. And I have a long history with MMOs, so personally, this sort of quest design hasn't been bothering me that much. But I know that this can be a turnoff for a lot of people or make people bounce off the game if they're not expecting it. And if they're coming in expecting like this super narrative driven experience right from the get-go, which is not what Crimson Desert is. But that's okay. The game doesn't need to be that in order to be good at other things. And I'm going to, and the way that I was thinking about it was, there are a few games out there that I've played that I absolutely love, but the story had no sort of real impact on my enjoyment of it. And I'm going to say some names here that are probably going to trigger a lot of people, but these are the three games that I thought of that are open world that I absolutely adore, and the story within the game didn't really have that much of an impact on my enjoyment of it. But Skyrim, Elden Ring, and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Skyrim, the main story quest line is kind of just there to like push you along, but in that game, like an hour or two in, you can kind of just go do your own thing, and that's still a ton of fun. With Elden Ring, I know that there is a lot of lore and backstory and NPCs that you can go talk to, and I know that there's a lot there, and I've watched a lot of YouTube videos about the lore, and I actually love the lore of Elden Ring, but it wasn't something that I was thinking about as I was playing the game, if that makes sense. And Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the story is super simple. As always, you go kill Ganon. There's these other factions that you go visit. But as I was playing the game, again, I wasn't thinking about the main story about Breath of the Wild. I was just exploring that world, experimenting in that world, and that was where I got my fun from that game. So in Crimson Desert, I know that there's a lot of talk about the story being trash, which at the beginning hours it definitely is, but that hasn't taken away from the experience that I'm getting from the game. It's not something that I desperately need while I'm playing it to have a good time. I thought I would touch a bit on performance, since I know that this is a very demanding game. It's beautiful, and it is well optimized. I'm running on a 4060, and I'm able to run it at 1440p on high settings and with DLSS 4 turned on. The game would look better if I turned on ray reconstruction, but I don't think my computer can handle that. So, and I tried it, but even without it, I love the way that it looks. Except indoors, the lighting. If you don't have ray reconstruction on, the lighting in this game indoors is trash. It just looks so weird. I don't like it. I try to avoid being indoors as much as possible. But the game is beautiful and very well optimized. I was not expecting it to look this good on the current rig that I have, but no real issues to speak of besides the indoor lighting. And as I was saying just now, the world of Crimson Desert is beautiful. It's immense. There's so many things that you can find and so many things that you can do. I'm 15 hours in or so, and I have not left like the first area. I'm still in, I guess, the area of Hernand, and I've gone a little bit to the south, but I haven't explored a vast majority of the map, and I can only imagine the things that are waiting on those other areas. So that's also another reason why the lack of story has not impacted my enjoyment of the game as much, is just because the world itself is so rich. There are so many NPCs everywhere. The towns are like filled with people. There's so many like caves and little puzzles that you can find in the world. There's so many activities that you can do while you're not doing all those things too. A 2-hour session in this game can just be like you fishing or mining or something like that. Or it could be a 2-hour session of you like questing, going from place to place, finding interesting things along the way. The game just lets you play it how you want to, and it has a lot of content in there for somebody that just wants like a sandbox to play around with in the way that they want to do that. The puzzles that you find out in the world can be obtuse, but my stance on puzzles and how hard they are is I always try to figure it out myself. And then if I'm starting to get frustrated and spending too much time on it, I'll just look up the answer, get what I need to do there, and then move on. There's a lot to see in this game. I don't believe that the best use of my time is to stay on one puzzle for more than 30 minutes or an hour. So they're not too hard to figure out. Some of them, like I went into one cave that had like paintings on the wall, and I think you needed to go to like different parts of the map to know what you needed to do to turn certain knobs inside the room, and it was just insane. So that was one of the ones that I ended up looking up. It was just going to take way too long, and I wanted to do like other things in the world. So so there is cases like that. But in other cases, I just showed up, solved the puzzle, got the item as a reward, and moved on. So it's kind of just that experience has varied for me quite a bit. The combat in this game is one of the biggest reasons why I've continued to play it. The combat is so much fun. There's a lot of customization that you can do when it comes to the skills, the weaponry that you use. Right now I'm still using a sword and shield, but there's a lot of like unarmed skills where you can do like drop kicks and you can slam people to the ground, like wrestling moves. And there's like the tab target like ability that you use to like pull things in. And you have like a force pushed type of ability as well. And you can combine all of these things during the combat to fit your playstyle and try different things. And I just really love the combat so far. It's one of the biggest reasons why I haven't been enjoying this game as much as I have been. And I'm glad that it's this good because it really makes up for the lack of story. Just playing the game is fun, and that's one of the most important things for me. So I wanted to quickly touch on playable characters because while a few hours into my playthrough, I ran into a new playable character. I think her name is Damiani or something like that. But she just kind of shows up at one point and the game tells you that you can play as her. But I haven't really done that. The game doesn't really give you an incentive or gives you a reason to play as her. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to experiment more with that, but I have her as a playable character. I know that I like quickly switched to her as soon as I got her, and she has uh, like a different weapon set. I don't even know if she shares the skills that Cliff has, or if it's a completely different skill tree. The game just doesn't tell you. And I think there's a third playable character that I haven't seen yet, but I'm gonna have to look more into that. I don't really know why the other characters are there, or if they can even participate in the main quest line. But overall, I think Crimson Desert is going to be what I'm going to call like a slow burn game for me. I feel that this game has so much content that if I binge it nonstop, I'm going to get burnt out and bounce off of it and never come back to it. So my plan is to play this in short bursts for a very long time, so that hopefully that will someday allow me to finish it and see everything that this game has. People are going to be playing this for hundreds of hours if they try to see everything. So I think this world is enormous. There's so much to see, and I kind of want this game to be kind of a slow grind for me. But I'm really enjoying it. I highly recommend it if you're not putting that much weight on the story. If you're looking for a narrative experience, I think you might want to look elsewhere. But if you're looking for a big world with tons of things to see, a big sandbox to play in with a great combat system, then I think you should check out Crimson Desert. I think Pearl Abyss is doing a great job. They've patched some of the things that were bothering me on launch day, and it was like such minor things that I can't believe weren't in the game when it launched. Like I couldn't press I to go to my inventory. The menus were really weird to figure out. There's this thing that you put on your head to like see memories sometimes, and when the game launched, you had to like manually put it on and find the memory that you wanted to play. Now it just does it just automatically whenever you find one. They added a storage chest in your camp, which I don't know why wasn't there at launch, but it's there now. So thankfully that's there. But I hope Pearl Abyss continues to patch the game and make it better. I know that there are some things in the late game that people have been complaining about surrounding like mounts and things like that. Like there's a dragon, I think, that has like a 1 hour cooldown on it. I don't know if that's going to get patched or if they have a reason for it being that long. But it seems like they're being receptive to feedback and being good at communication. So I have high hopes for some of these things that Pearl Abyss will hopefully fix. But those are my initial thoughts on Crimson Desert. Highly enjoying it. I will continue to play it and hopefully one day see everything that's in it. Have you been playing it? And what do you think? Let me know. And thank you so much for watching.